Hello, and welcome to yet another fantastic episode of your favorite fly fishing podcast. And actually, recently voted the best fly fishing podcast in the world by Time Magazine. My name is Mitch, and this is SoFly. Aldo, how are you, baby?
I'm great because we got this great accolade,
I
the
know, it's
best
amazing.
fly fishing podcast that's ever been made.
It's weird. Time would have that as a category for award. Actually, they don't even have awards. So, as far as I know, so this is the only award they've ever given out. I guess it's just that good, eh?
I know they're like we have to.
Yeah.
They were like they had to just
They had to do something about it.
they had to do something because
SoFly fishing
of how good
podcast.
we are.
No, but we can dream. Welcome to
To
another
sleep
episode.
or chance to dream.
Wow, that's a very beautiful quote to start the day. What was it? To sleep, to chance to dream.
Yep.
So
yeah.
we've
Written
got,
by the poet laureate
yeah,
William Shatner.
Shatner. He is a good poet. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got another episode for you today here where we sat down a little while back with Brita Fordice from the Stillaguamish River area. Brita is
practicing that one.
I did. I was. Actually, I was practicing it when we did the intro too, as you'll hear in a minute. But yeah, she's a full-time product developer for RIO, and we got to talk to her about all kinds of stuff, including fly tying.
Mainly fly design.
Yeah, which was really, really cool because she also knows many of the fantastic anglers that we know, and we were able to talk about with her and also her amazing fly design.
Yeah, I met Brita a couple years ago at the Confluence
in Utah,
the Confluence Conference in Utah, in Salt Lake. And obviously she's a very talented tyer. Duh. Yeah. She designs flies for RIO. Yeah. But yeah, just an awesome person, and it was fun. We went down a bit of a rabbit hole there at the end with the bonefish fly hook choices. But yeah, I think I was stoked to finally get her on, and it was a great chat. I think it was a great chat, and fly design's always a way back to one of the first episodes you guys ever did with Chris. It's some very listened to content, because I mean flies. The design of flies or the history of flies or like the legacy of the design and history of flies, like it lives on, right? Generations. Like how many people have used a parachute Adams over the years?
And everybody wants to have their little, everybody's got their way of fishing and their little nuances to how they like flies to appear in the water. And so it's kind of always changing and everybody's always tweaking things. And yeah, I think we're definitely into like the super nerd era of fly tying now, where it's like very minute changes can make a big difference, or very different patterns can be welcomed and brought into the fishing world with open arms and many caught fish. But before we get into the story, the interview with Brita, we talk a little bit about community news. Is there anything going on this month?
Yes, this is the community news brought to you by Yeti. Did we decide what song we're going to do yet?
Not yet. No, not yet, but it's going to be
for the
great.
Duration of trout season, so until the end of September, Yeti's going to be sponsoring the community calendar, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Drift's stuff. Do you want to start with Ottawa, maybe?
Whoa, flipperoonie on the Ottawa.
I don't know. I just saying there's not. I don't
think there's many things going on in general.
June 1st is when this episode comes out. We're recording this on May 30th. I haven't really been trout fishing a lot, but we're already looking forward to bass season, right? And bass opening in June, which is always an exciting time in and around the world, shall we say. June 20th, is actually the Ontario Streams annual general meeting.
That's right.
If you want to find out what's going on in terms of, they reflect on the year they just had, meaning like, not only the data and the research and everything, and lessons they learned from scientific observation, but they also talk about the projects that they executed in terms of like any rehab.
You went to the one last year, right?
Yep, it was great, and then they look forward to the year ahead, talk about the projects that they're going to try and execute, and the research that they're trying to accomplish, and it's just a good time. I mean, you meet everybody involved with Ontario Streams. And there's so many great organizations in Ontario. We just happen to work with that one.
Go see where the how the money from SOTOS is used to
that's right
to help the rivers, the streams.
That's
and the
right.
trout.
That's right. And
So
also learn about volunteer. That's June 20th.
June 20th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
and of course, you can go to OntarioStreams.ca to
Ontario Streams AGM June 20th. Be there, be square.
Yeah, you squares.
Ottawa's got some, I think we talked about last time, but in June, the Fly Fish Society is doing some intermediate casting sort of classes with Jeff Jackson, who we've had on the show and fished with. Yeah. So you can check that out in Ottawa if you're part of the Fly Fish Society. Yeah, check them out. But other than that, there's really not nothing.
They're not doing their bass opener barbecue?
Not that I've heard. No, I don't know, but we'd have to double check with that.
Oh.
Yeah, we were chatting to them about doing something with them. Are we about the bass the barbecue?
I'd be super down to go do the bass opener barbecue. And all
sounds like we got some emails to send,
brother.
Because we totally.
And I'm typing.
June's a big month, for Ontario because, as you said, bass opens, and for everybody, much of the angling population in Ontario, and so it's exciting. Also, of course, we've got muskie opener coming up in Ottawa, but this is not a community news thing. This is just
well, it's kind of.
This is just fun fishing news. Brought to you by Yeti.
Brought to you by Yeti.
Should we get into the Brita Fordice interview?
I believe
so. All right, well, here we go. This is Brita right after these words. Brita Fordice is a full-time product developer for RIO, conceptualizing, designing, and testing flies for every species under the brand. If you fish the salt, chances are you've cast something she helped create. Born and raised on the banks of Washington's Stillaguamish River, there we go. She learned to fly fish at 8, taught herself to tie at 10 from old cabin books, and caught her first fish on a self-tied fly before most kids pick a favorite sports team. From guiding in Puget Sound and Hood Canal to building the RIO Flies program from the ground up, Brita built her career on craftsmanship, not clout, growing a loyal following by posting flies, staking her claim in traditionally male industry. Her first fish on the fly she tied was a 9-inch Dolly Varden, and her first time on SoFly is today. Brita, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Excited.
We're excited to have you on. Stoked to chat because like when Alda said Brita's going to come on, I got pretty excited because we haven't done like a fly tying show in a while, but we love your flies, so I think it's going to be really cool to dive into that.
Nice.
Where are you calling in from today? You're at the office at Farbank?
I'm at the office here at Farbank. I am in our CEO's office again, which came up recently because there's a massive nutcracker behind us.
Yeah, look at that.
That we can't seem to find a better place for or home for, so it just kind of keeps living here.
That's amazing. Where did it come from?
I don't know. It's been here as long as I've worked here, so it's been here at least 10 years. And
it just kind of shuffles around.
It just kind of shuffles around. It goes out at Christmas time, usually right before Christmas, because we forget about it, and then it comes back in here and it lives for the rest of the year.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. How's life out there these days? Everything good? Have you been fishing a lot? Is it too cold for that stuff?
We've actually had a really stupid winter that hasn't been very cold at all. So fishing it's been a little wacky, a little up and down. Barometric pressure has been all over the place. I've been fishing a few times, but not nearly as much as I normally would this time of the year. More than anything, just because I assumed I wouldn't be and planned other things.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, it looks beautiful out there. I mean, Aldo and I still, because we've had a couple people on from Farbank over the years, definitely want to get out there and check it out.
Obviously, being on Team Reddington, we haven't really. Yeah. We probably should get out there at some point.
Totally.
Yeah.
So cool.
Anytime you guys want to fish, I'm game.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, why don't we just kind of start this whole thing off with like a little bit more background around, I mean, specifically what it was like growing up on a beautiful river like the Stillaguamish. I mean, I was looking at photos of it earlier, and it's just like looks incredible.
It's I grew up in Shoreline, and we had a cabin up there that it was an hour outside of town. I think it's probably busy enough that it would probably take you 2 nowadays, but so we'd go up there just about every weekend. My dad would cut the grass, and my sister and I would just screw around. And my grandparents had a cabin just 2 cabins away from ours. So we used to fish just about every afternoon and evening, my dad, my grandfather, and I, and sometimes my uncle. And I have gear fished slightly, but it's mostly been fly from the very beginning.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I say I started when I was 8, but yeah, I was like spastically flipping around a fly into the river,
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know how much to say I actually did it.
It's more than most people could say. I mean, like, it's such a common path to do the spin fishing thing for a while, like, and that badly. So it's pretty cool you got into fly that young.
Yeah, it's helped without developing any casting bad habits, at least from spinning gear rods
true.
first. But yeah, then other than that, I've just always felt really comfortable around water, swimming in the river. The shit that we used to get away with as kids, like truck tire inner tubes with ropes around them and standing up, going down like 2 feet deep water with rocks everywhere. You're like, how is it that we survived this?
It's kind of amazing, right? It's like, I think about that too sometimes, like cold water, and we're just like dicking around on the river. It's like seriously kind of dangerous stuff. And somehow
the stupid stuff we used to do on the ice is just crazy.
Oh
like, I look back and I'm like, I'd never do that.
Totally.
Never do what we did on the ice now.
Like, part of growing up, though, is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah. So other than that, I ADD brought me to a few different states. And I ended up in Eastern Washington for college, and then moved to Sun Valley, Idaho. After that, was there.
Awesome.
And then moved directly up to Anchorage in a day. I just decided to. My parents were super excited about because I told them once I got there.
Yeah.
And it was already snowing by the time I got there. It was September, so by that point, it was too late to come back down.
Wow.
So that was fun.
And all like really fishy places, which is pretty cool. I mean, was that by design?
Fly fishing places,
I imagine.
Too,
yeah. It was like, I got to go fish those places.
There's nothing quite the same as DIYing it in Anchorage.
Yeah.
Everyone just so is set on having to fly out to these amazing lodges and such, and you can get the best breakfast you've ever had right up to Talkeetna Roadhouse, and then go fish on the way home. There's so many better places. Yes, it's crazy.
See, that's great to hear, because like we've been talking about like Anchorage for years, but it's like that Alaska. It's like, well, we got to fly somewhere. It's like, no, you could just roll up to Anchorage and fish and catch lots of cool stuff. I mean, that's great to know.
You could go even just after work, a few days a week. You could run out there to Bird Creek or whatever and catch salmon. It's stupid how easy it is.
Awesome.
So that's pretty fun. I do miss Sun Valley. I miss trout stuff. I hadn't done any river trout fishing, like real trout fishing, until I moved there. So it was kind of a spazzy situation the whole time. It was great fishing Silver Creek.
I bet.
Getting to try that and getting to say that I did before it got really, really crazy. Now that Sun Valley's blown up quite a bit. So
yeah. And so was the guiding kind of part of those moves as well, or did you start guiding like when you got back? Okay.
I started guiding when I got back here. I started working at Avid Angler fly fishing in Lake Forest Park.
Yeah.
And it was like early 2000s. So it was like 2004. So it was still in the time frame of I don't think there had been a woman that had worked at a fly shop prior to that. There might have been, but it hadn't been for long. So it was definitely different. It was a different scenario. Guys weren't expecting to see a woman when they walked in.
Yeah.
So I spent 13 years there before I came over to Farbank.
Wow, 13 years. That's a good haul. Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, so then fly tying, like it's kind of always been part of your fly fishing life as well. Like, I mean, like we said at the top, like was your first fish on the fly also your first fish on a fly you tied, or was there a first fish?
No.
Okay.
There's fish before that, because I thought everything needed to eat
there was fish before
the teeny nymph, or else it wouldn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the few books that we had that I read was teeny. I mean, that was the only fly you needed, remember?
Right.
Yeah. I guess he's a nice guy, but I still, it was pretty funny. So I tied teeny nymphs a lot. They didn't get shit. I bought those. I bought woolly buggers and fished them. And it was some type of, I don't remember if it was a bugger or whatnot, but it was something along those lines that was supposed to look like that ended up working.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, tying's been part of your life then, like fly fishing life, like kind of since the beginning. I mean, since like, you were just a kid. So like, how would you describe yourself as a fly tyer, I guess? Like, where does your kind of fly tying fit into the fly tying universe?
I think I'm a little bit more atypical with it. It's always been fun for me.
Yeah.
I've never, I mean, they still make fun of me now here because I hate watching videos. Even when coworkers will post videos of themselves tying, I won't.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like painful for me.
What is it about?
Is
What
that
is it
like
about it?
like from a technique standpoint, or just like I'm so maxed out on talking about fly tying?
I just
Are you annoyed that you're talking about it right now with us?
No, but there's something about watching somebody else tie a fly that I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want to be able to like, if I want to be able to do that, I can achieve the same end result.
Yeah.
But I might do it a really messed up way.
Right.
It may not be the by the book way that's taught in every class, but I'll get to the same end result. I'd rather figure it out myself and screw it up 10 times over than I would watch a 10-minute video of somebody's mouth and a vice,
Yeah, totally.
So
do you think there's something do you think some of that, I've never thought about this before, but ever since, like, I just thought about this right now, you bringing that up. Do you think that, I mean, obviously YouTube and fishing tutorials, obviously get a lot of people into tying flies and stuff like that, but I think that might stifle creativity because people are too worried about doing it
traditional,
the right way, or
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times people will come up and be like, okay, well, I live here. What would be great? Some variation of a clouser. And you're like, okay. Then they come back and they're saying, okay, well, what color bucktail? I'm like, well, you could use bucktail. You could use squimpish hair. You could use this, change it up a little bit. Icelandic sheep. And it just like blows up their brain. They can't quite. It's like if I were to write that in a recipe book and hand it to them, it would make sense.
Right.
But the concept of that doesn't quite work. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, and seeing that other people can change things up and create might get people going and excited to watch those videos. For me, I would rather just do it on my own.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting thing because, I don't know how old you are, but I'm approaching 40, and like so much of my fly fishing life was trial and error. Yeah, I have books.
Yeah.
But I think that was it was really fun. Sure, there's, probably a lot of bad casting habits or whatever that I had to like change after a while. But I think like, it was kind of fun to get your own style. Because like you said, it was fun. Like for you, it's fun. I wonder if for other people it might not be fun, like some other designers, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I'm 45, and it's even at the shop, it was really funny because, until Instagram came out and whatnot, nobody knew they knew I worked in the shop, but they didn't really know I was tying too, other than screwing around with the vise there. And so we would consistently get guys that would come into the shop and come up and ask me for me to go get one of the guys from the back to come back out to talk to them about fly tying. It could be a dude that started fly fishing that we just had working the register, and I would still go get that person and bring them out and be like, this guy's the expert. Here you go, buddy. Good luck with this.
You sort of,
It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
So it got to kind of be a joke. And Ryan, the owner of Avid, was really sweet. And he'd always get really frustrated and upset at the guys and be like, just a second here. But I don't care. It was fun. And working in the shop helped a lot, especially with tying materials. Ordering materials for as long as I did helps so much, just knowing all the substitutions, which obviously helps my job now.
Of course.
Seeing we used to have Harry Lemire, who's one of the most famous steel hitters out there. He passed away a little while ago. He used to come in every week or two to Avid and he's the only person I know of that used to buy the old whiting black laced hen saddles. Just weird stuff. So it was really good for me to be able to get to know all the materials and try out some different stuff too. That also helped with my creativity.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, because it's also, you're like you said, like you're ordering, you get you see all these things and you get to try them, like, and pick them up and stuff. So after the fly shop, when did Firebank come along and like commercial designing come along in your life? Yeah.
So I got hit up to work in customer service here in end of 2015-ish.
Yeah.
And I had been posting a ton on Instagram about just flies and stuff at the time, just to try and boost guide business.
Yep.
And then I got hit up to work in customer service, and I was like, okay, fine. So I left here, or Avid, to work here, and then they pulled me quickly from there for good reason, and put me into product development. Clearly they want somebody a little nicer with people to be talking to them on the phone.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
Like, you broke your fly line. How were you casting, right?
Yeah.
Were you just pulling straight off of a rock?
They're like, come over here. Yeah.
So then they pulled me over, and we already had Patrick Kilby, who used to manage Idlewild back in the day for many years. And so the two of us started the flies program from the ground up.
Oh, cool. Wow. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Mitch has written in like a lot of awesome questions, but before we get to them, maybe I'm a little bit curious about some of those logistics. Like, so when you from like concept to website, like, I mean, that's a big broad stroke. But I guess like, yeah, I mean, like, we had Brandon on the show that Brandon Morton from Rod Designer, and he took us through like the process of what he goes through to try and design a product. How does a fly make it to the website, the RIO website? Obviously you have your standards like Clausers and stuff, but like if you're trying to develop a product for what's kind of your process?
So a lot of times it's a wild idea of some sort. I'll see something that I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to tie. We just got a new booby foam, and I'm like, I could think of all sorts of names in my head for them, some appropriate, and think, okay, fine, we'll run with this one. I'm going to do something with booby foam. So that's the next. So I'll come up with a fly, and then the most painful part of the process is having to write out step-by-step instructions, like it would be you're describing it to your grandmother who doesn't tie flies.
Right.
And it's kind of like the whole, Patrick likes to describe it as the peanut butter sandwich video, where he's like, write out how to make a peanut butter sandwich, and he says, put the, knife in the peanut butter, and he just like drops it. It's one of those things where you have to think of every single thing and measure every single portion out, like make your marabou 45 millimeters, things like that, put that in there. Add every one of the item codes as well, so they know exactly which version and what style they're getting from where.
Right.
And then I have to tie up 6 of every single one in every color, which is like pulling teeth. And once that's done, then I mail it all off to one of our factories.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they then, after a month or so, reproduce it, send it back to us, and we approve it, and then it goes up on the website.
It's so interesting because when you're tying for yourself, you're like, oh, I've got all these materials and stuff, but then you're like, okay, actually, people that I will probably definitely never be in the same room with have to recreate this 100 times.
Yeah,
thousands of times.
They're ordering like CDC by the pound. Do you know how many? Like, that's like my size of CDC. Like,
that's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So
have you ever had a pattern like have to stop production because they couldn't get a certain material? Or
there's been a couple of them.
Yeah.
Or it's been discontinued in the time between my tying samples, sending it off, and it coming to production, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
Like the one material that's integral into it,
Yeah. So maybe we go back to the beginning of that process, though, like when you're starting with like the process of designing a fly, and how does it start? Like, do you just go like, I have a cool idea, or I just want to do shrimp, or is it just what you want to do, or is there like some sort of data, like consumer data informing like where you have to go?
Yeah. So initially we pulled because we were starting from scratch, we pulled every single one of the fly catalogs from all the manufacturers.
Yeah.
And we said everyone that had a name attached to it it's technically trademarked, but not really. You can't really cover it that much. So I have flies with Umpqua, or did at the time. They were able, when I withdrew my contract, they were able to then continue to sell them just without my name attached to them.
All right.
That's why they put the last names on there. But in reality, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But it means that all the ones that have a name associated with them, generally, we didn't want to step on toes. We didn't want to take those. And we wanted to be original in our own way.
Yeah.
So we took all the ones in the standard classics, Chevy Chernobyl, Adams, all of that stuff. And then where there was big holes in each subcategory, that's where Patrick and I jumped in to create fly patterns to fill those holes.
Okay.
So streamers, some of the smaller streamers, things like that. I was jumping in to do stuff that I knew worked anywhere, everywhere, that I fished before, guide fly stuff that I've done. And then I started moving into a lot of the tropical saltwater stuff.
Yeah.
And where we are now is we're actually going more towards signature tires, just because I know tarpon in certain areas. I don't know all the areas. Right. And I don't have the street cred to claim I do, and I'm not going to try.
Oh, no,
so I could tie a tarpon fly, but
I love the signature tire thing. It's so cool. I mean, even just from a marketing standpoint, it's so good because you're connecting the community, and there's so many sick tires out there, why not tap into them?
Well, and if somebody's like bitches on our Instagram that, hey, why would you do that? That's stupid. Then I could be like, oh, Josh Boyles, come here. Explain why you do that. You're the expert. They're over
hey,
here
Jeff, someone hates your rooster flies.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff, somebody's really hating on that cheeseburger.
I love Jeff. He's one of my favorite people.
We had such a great day on the boat. And once we started like talking more about like what we did, we started putting, started connecting the dots. And we were having some of the same conversations on the boat too about like, oh, he's like, I got some of the samples back from Brita. And he's like, and they were like bang on. He's like, I was worried that, because I have in my head what a cheeseburger should look like. And it comes back and he's like, it's actually really bang on, and they have to mass produce it. He's like, the logistics there, we were talking about the logistics and I was like, man, this would be an awesome chat,
Yeah.
So I was like,
one of the weird,
Jeff was
go ahead. Yeah. One of the weirdest logistics things with him or with his fly is, so with EP brushes are probably the most expensive thing you could ever put in a fly. Across the board, next to hooks.
Got it.
And that's what's in his fly.
Right.
I mean, it's no question. People can see that, right? Yeah. So in his original version, we had to work creatively to find ways to create the same look without using the brushes themselves. Right. And so we had to teach the tires how to create that look with dubbing loops instead of actually using the brushes and pick it out really well. And all of that. And that was extremely tedious and painful, but it's one of those things that the end result worked out great.
Yeah.
And we aren't having to pay $100 a fly. So it's great.
Right. So there's actual education too with the tires and like
a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like that would be a big part of the job. I mean, just like getting them up to speed on like all the new techniques and stuff that you guys need to do,
Well, and they're not fly tire, or they're not fishermen or women. They're just they tie flies for us. So it's like even something dumb like wrap the shank with the chenille to the head, right behind the eye. They'll fit freaking like 40 wraps of chenille on a size 22. Like you have no idea the stuff that they can do. And it's amazing. I couldn't even do it. Like technically they're amazingly good tires.
Yeah.
But you have to be really obvious about counting and So I've gotten really good at that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's detail like in mass production do you find, might get butchered the most, or like what's the thing that you're trying to like account for the most in your head?
Bulkiness is the biggest issue.
Okay.
It's the hardest to quantify.
Right.
So if I'm saying pick out a head like a baitfish, they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
All right.
If I'm saying to cut it baitfish shape, they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
If I'm so I finally had to 3D print a baitfish shape to
right.
That's amazing.
That's a good
Yeah, it's things like that, but the tarpon flies in particular, heads on those if you're using fox or something along those Arctic fox is particular one of them. Yeah. Coyote fur, picking out the head and putting it in a dubbing loop. It's real hard for them to figure that one out. So we have to constantly go back and work with them. There's also creep, which is like every time they're tying a fly, they have one in front of them. But as you tie more and more and more of them and they go back to it, it might slightly get a millimeter longer on the tail. And then the next batch is like a millimeter beyond that. So like you have to constantly keep up with that stuff.
Have you ever gotten flies back where you're just like, that's not even a fly? Like it's just like you've maybe messed up the instructions and it's just like a hook with like a bunch of crazy stuff on it?
I've gotten back. There's been one or two where I was like, oh, this is not good. And it's in hindsight, it's all my fault. Like the crappier and lazier you get with the writing out the recipes and the more you rush it, the worse the fly ends up. And it's kind of funny. Exactly what I expected at that point based on how much time I put in.
You're like, so okay, I didn't spend enough time on this at all.
I bet you there's a largemouth bass out there that'd still eat those flies though.
Something would totally eat any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny. Oh man. Go ahead, Donald.
I was gonna say I mean logistics aside, maybe like more about like Brita's like theory or your process. Like you studied biology, worked as a vet tech. By the way, like for everybody listening, Brita's there's no shortage of media out there. So if you want to consume more content with you in it, it's definitely out there. So we're trying not to repeat stuff that we've already talked about, but it's awesome because you've had such a great fly fishing career. And when we met briefly in Utah, it was great to hang out and chat and stuff. So I think it's just great to have you on the show. I'm just like, there's like a bajillion questions we could ask you, but we got to try and keep it to a fucking hour here. But anyway, you studied biology and you worked as a vet tech. How does that? Do you apply that sciencey brain at the Vice, or do you want to stay more like, I don't know, whimsical,
abstract,
yeah.
I've always been interested in aquatic life and physics too, for that matter. Totally opposite things. I volunteered and then ended up actually working for the Seattle Aquarium for years through high school and college. And I love watching things swim and the physics of it all. I love seeing how different like invertebrates and whatnot react to different predators, things like that, as nerdy as that sounds. Nudibranchs are one of my favorite things because they're really pretty and they swim really cool and they get to be in really bright colors. So there's just dumb stuff like that. But that did help because I have animals in general have always been a sort of autistic side of me that I tend to like memorize all sorts of stupid, needless, useless knowledge on.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. I don't know if one of them ended up resulting in the other or not, but
no, it's like you're balanced out with like creativity and sort of science and observation. And I think it's like such a good point, like seeing how things interact, not just with water, but like with fish. Like when a fish looks at a crayfish, what does the crayfish do? Because that could inspire how you tie that crayfish. It's cool. Yeah, it's so interesting. When you do a lot of like swim tests with your flies as well, right? Like you actually do see how that interact. Like, what are you looking for exactly when you do that?
So a few different things. One, it's different speeds. So you want to make sure that you can retrieve faster and slower. Most of the swim testing tanks are all going to be at one speed. So you need to be able to figure out how to do it when it's not like that. So you have to go to different places that allow you to retrieve it differently. More than anything, I just want it to be able to sink to the right depth and be able to achieve the same motion I want at that depth and maintain that depth.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then like when, we're talking about like how you get flies back from, they have to be perfectly manufactured. I mean, I guess that makes sense from just like a mass manufacturing point of view, but like, is there a difference between like a pretty fly and a fishy fly? Like how much does that like... Yeah. What is that interaction?
There is zero question that you can have two separate flies and I will look at them and be like, we will sell the absolute shit out of that. But that one is the one that's going to fish the best.
Catch. Yeah.
Right. It's like, do people buy
it's
more often? Yeah.
Yeah, bin appeal. You put a set of eyes on something, it's going to sell twice as much as the one without the eyes, but it's the same freaking fly, right?
See, that's interesting. Yeah, because
Did
like I
fish
get
care?
it.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
Totally. The
They
angler
obviously
does.
caught fish before they had eyes on them, so.
Yeah, that's true. When I guess in that vein, like, have you ever designed something where you're like, oh, that's so pretty, and then it just doesn't work? Like in terms of it doesn't catch fish. Like you're like, this is so good looking, and I think it's gonna do so well, and you're like, oh,
why?
There's been a few of them, and I think I like to pretend and tell myself that it's, it was the fishing situation, it wasn't me.
Right.
There has definitely been ones where it was a joke at Avid. One time in particular that I was tying steelhead flies and classic, like acroid style steelhead flies. And I was like, that one's trash, and throwing them in the trash. And Ryan was coming over and stealing them out of the trash. And he went out.
I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah, he said he watched. We have pictures of this nice 30+ inch hen that made a freaking wake all the way over to one of the flies that I was like, trash. So
that's awesome.
It just happens. Justin's my husband will use my flies in a heartbeat. Ones that I'm like, those are rejects. And he does great with them. He fishes them with all the confidence in the world. He's a great tyer too, though. So
why do you throw them to the side? Like, what is it about them that you're like, nah, not that one?
I don't know. I'm a little OCD about weird stuff. Like sometimes it's like a color combo that I'm like, nah, that one's just not it. With those steelhead flies, it was probably, I wasn't really good at proportions yet at that point. So stuff like counter ribbing with, Lagarton and stuff like that, I wasn't perfect at. It was annoying me.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like, even though like they'll catch fish, you're just like, I don't want to fish it. Yeah, that experience is not something. Yeah. How do you know when a fly's finished? Like when you're designing a pattern, or
when I can't do anything else to it to improve it.
So fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be able to fish the way I want it, move the way I want it, depth, things like that. And usually when we're going into a fly, like I'm taking it and saying, I want to be able to achieve a micro leech that's a jig with tungsten bead head. And it needs to be able to fish foul free, but I don't want to make it articulated or have a stinger. So like once I've messed around with something long enough and determined that it doesn't have the way I've tied it isn't getting it fouled up in any way, and it's fishing at the depth I want, we're done. And then I get to come up with names. So then it's fun.
That's the fun part, the name.
What? Well, that's a good point. Okay. So then how important is, I guess, slamming the brakes or taking, and so just a quick analogy, Mitch and I both used to be sound engineers. Yeah. Sometimes you put you'll be mixing a band or something, and you keep putting all these elements in it, and you think it's sounding better, but it's actually just sounding shittier or too confusing. And it's like sometimes you just need the instruments to like take up their spaces. The drums got to be the drums, the guitar. Like just to come off of Mitch's question, like how you know when it's finished. Not so much adding. Is there sometimes how important is it like to taking away or negative space in fly design? Is that it's part of the process too? Or
there's I think all fly designers have a propensity to overthink things.
Okay.
And the beauty of working for Farbank and RIO in particular is that we have some of the fishiest people on the planet all in one building. So I could go over and show a fly to Chris Anderson, who's been working here for 20+ years. I could show it to Paul Schmier, who's been designing our rods, and Peter forever. So the nice thing is sometimes we'll get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm going to add this to it. And then I'm walking around there like, that looks like garbage. Like, take that shit off of it. You're done. It was done before. We like you, but so it's nice to get tough love and know that they're looking out for the best and for the consumer over my love of adding Marabou or something like that to it.
Yeah. I've heard like really great graphic designers talk about their design in the same kind of way, where it's like you take away and you add, or you take away, and then when you can't do anything else, it's done. That's how you know.
Yep.
It's interesting. It's approached the same way.
Yep.
The inverse of a question we asked, is there I think we asked like, is there a fly that you like love the design of and never worked? Is there one that you're like, I absolutely hate that fly, but oh my god, it catches so many fish?
Yeah. So the joke initially was I fucking hated those stupid tails on the cheeseburger. I hated it.
Yeah.
Jeff knew that I hated that tail. I hated the tail, and the guy who designed the tails came and approached me on Instagram, and I had to backtrack and be like, sorry, just so you're clear. Like, those things catch everything.
Yeah.
I just thought they looked stupid initially, and I'm taking that all back.
I said the same thing. I was like, I think Ethan from Renton, he sent me some.
Yep. They
before a salt trip once, and I was like, these look fucking terrible. I was like, I don't have any confidence in these. And then I fucking meet the guy who designs them. He's like, hey, you know that cheeseburger? I designed it. And I was like, oh yeah. In my head being like, I kind of fucking hate that fly. And then, but then the more I talk to everybody, I'm just like, oh no. Well, obviously,
Fish love that fly.
Yeah. And obviously, like, I mean, like, I don't fish the salt every day. I get to do it maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And here I am like, yeah, well, that looks bad, Jeff. That's funny that you mentioned that fly. That's hilarious. I think, to the tail thing, like, I think Mitch and I were kind of, we predator fish a lot, like pike and muskie, and we were, those Paccarini tails off the hop. I was like,
totally.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really the guy who had designed them. When I posted something and I was like, I freaking hate these tails, but I got to admit they work really well. Yeah. He approached me and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And we ended up having a really good conversation over it. But the first time you fish it, you'll recognize fish absolutely annihilate something with those tails on them. Yeah. And it's an aggressive, angry, pissed off, I'm going to destroy you kind of thing. Yeah. It's not like just I'm going to eat it. It's insane.
Is it just like the movement of it? Like it's just battery powered in the water, or is it?
I don't know, but I fished. Triggers are my favorite. I fished and landed a bunch of them. All of them are happy-go-lucky eats. You're looking for them eating. Look, they're on. Kind of thing.
Right.
And those, it was like I was wrecking flies because they were coming from like 10 meters away to annihilate it from the side and competing for it. It was
no
crazy.
way.
I'm
That's
like
crazy.
I'm spiraling right now. Like we've been to Belize a couple times now, and the triggers on Ambergris Key are notoriously
dude, they didn't care at all.
Picky, I guess. Not just for me. Like even our guides are like, we don't even really bother.
Oh, really? Other people have the same kind of.
Yeah, and they're like, they just, every once in a while somebody catches one, but that nobody's really kind of cracked the code. And, having spoken to you and Jeff,
try it.
I was looking at those crabs in the box. I'm like, no, there's no way. And then Jeff's like, triggers love these things, man. And you're like, and you're saying the same. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah, especially on an incoming tide, where it's kind of flooding a little bit and it's higher water. They're not as spooky. And there too with the higher water, they'd be great. It would work really well. He designed it with the mono forward, so it kind of bounces off of rocks and things like that. Yeah, won't get caught on coral as much.
Yeah, like really moves around.
I'm so mad at myself. You
should have used it. What the hell are you doing?
I know.
We'll go back. We still have to. I've never caught a trigger. I tried that in Belize, and every shot I had, they like a couple of them looked at it and were like, just nah, and they just left. I'm like, dang, what am I doing?
Christmas Island is where you need to go to really.
Yeah, they're down target. There. They'll go for it. They're friendly.
That's probably the most user friendly place to
try Mitch, just crack open that wallet and get us the plane tickets, bro.
Do love Christmas. Speaking of saltwater, I know when you did an interview with Fly Lords, you mentioned you were like really into shrimp patterns pulled you in. Was that like a passing fad for you, or was that like still a thing?
No,
a shrimp obsession?
I still love them. Yeah. I love tying shrimp flies. There's something weird about the final product of a shrimp fly, whether it be a steelhead prawn, like a big one on an AJ hook, or a size 6 bonefish shrimp. I freaking love them. I think that they fish in just about every saltwater situation wherever you go. Yeah. And proving that is every place in the world that fishes saltwater with flies has a version of a shrimp. Everything will eat a pink worm, a freaking shrimp, and probably a squid of some sort in saltwater.
True, Yeah. So it's just because of the versatility, or is it also like kind of the flies fun to tie? Is there something with the actual experience of the tying too?
I like it. It's cool because there's so many different varieties you could tie them as.
Yeah.
What's weird too is like in Washington, our shrimp, we don't necessarily hang up on a ton of stuff, and it's not super. It's not a steep drop off in Puget Sound most places. So when you're fishing it, you can actually fish with hook down and not have an issue. So there's so many different techniques and different versions that it opens you up to tie everything from game changers then to all sorts of different versions. So there's a lot of opportunity that's really fun. Whereas with stuff like, stonefly nymph, there's a lot of the stuff's been done. People haven't really dove into shrimp yet as much.
Right.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess there's been like every mayfly ever, all the time, constantly.
Yeah. And they're like, look how different this one is from this one. You're like, okay.
You're like,
yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm not sure a different bead color means it's a different fly.
Yeah, exactly. I see the CDC is like a half a shade off.
Yeah. It's a completely different fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like materials out there that are like underused right now? Like, is there something that's sleepy good that people aren't really acting on?
There's a few. One of my favorite products is the FNF products.
Okay.
Those things are freaking rad.
FNF, I don't even know these.
Looking them up.
Their blob material is insane, and that can be used as accent on many flies. Not necessarily, you got to stop thinking of blobs when you look at that and start thinking of other ways you can use that in place in chenille. Same goes with like the chewing gum worm stuff that they have. Start thinking creatively about furling that. And you don't need some cool vise to do it. You could just spin it in your hand while it's tied in and let it fold over itself.
Oh, I actually use the slush jelly quite a lot, actually.
I freaking love that stuff. There's a lot of different options. And
the chewing gum's so good.
Take
I love
that stuff
name.
as a lot of things. So
yeah,
with a two-tone jelly grits is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get.
I definitely use the slush jelly, but I don't. Okay, that's slept on. What else is slept on?
Probably natural materials are becoming more and more slept on, but that's because they're just getting harder and harder to obtain.
Yeah.
So if you have a good way, if you happen to be a bird, upland bird, whatnot, using some of that stuff in your flies would actually set those apart from a lot of the other stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. Swimpish hair is a great substitute, and I think it looks better for a lot of bucktail related flies, hollow flies, things like that.
Yeah.
And hooks wise, there's a lot of different hooks. That's really another thing that you could really change it up with. And Airex is doing a lot of really cool hooks right now.
Yeah, I find hooks be pretty overwhelming as someone that's like kind of stepped out of fly tying a little bit. Every time I kind of get back into it, I'm like, God, there's a lot of hook selections these days. Like
that is, if I could do a really remedial class for the entire fly fishing planet on hooks, bonefish hooks in particular, that would be really awesome. Because a lot of people they think they break them, and there's a lot more science to it than that. So when you're fishing 20-pound test and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, what makes a good bonefish? I'm bonefish obsessed. Like the past couple of years, like
here we go.
Okay, great, perfect. This is like the show for
break it down.
This is like the segment for me and Milan.
So we had there's only a few specific size 6 standard length shank bonefish hooks available. You've got like your SL45 from Gamakatsu, even though that's black and it's a little bit shorter. The standard one is it's like the 2546, I think it is. It might be 2456. But the Daiichi that looks physically identical almost to the 811S by Tiemco. We had been tying because at the time, universally, that Daiichi had been a replacement across the board for the TMC 811S. 811S is what 90% of bonefish flies are tied on, especially the Umpqua versions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we started hearing that people were opening them up. And So I started playing around with it. We took one of our summer interns and had him take 100 of each in a size 6 and put that in our God knows how much money Instron machine here at RIO. And he tested them all. And what he found, yeah, it was pretty cool. And it was pretty cool that I didn't have to do it.
Yeah, for real. So much work.
What we found was that starting at about 4 pounds, the Daiichis were starting to open up. So you never knew if you were losing that fish at 4 pounds or when it would completely open up by like 15 to 17.
Yeah.
But it was starting to open up. What we also found was at 13 pounds, the 811S was snapping exactly every time. The Gamakatsu was a little bit less than that.
Like the pressure you're putting on the hook.
The same.
Yeah, right. And that's with 100% effort, right? So we tried to make it as lifelike as possible with a little bit of a pull and whatnot. But in reality, that's about it. So if you think about it, rods are so much stronger and faster than they used to be. You take that combination, and people are a lot more effective at fighting fish now. They know to keep the rod tip down a little bit more, right?
Right.
So when you're looking at it that way and you're adding on, people are fishing, these leaders are getting more smaller in diameter and stronger.
Yeah.
You're fishing a 16-pound bonefish leader with tippet that probably tests out at closer to 20. And you're tying on a hook that's a size 6 that's going to snap with 13. The fish isn't going to snap. It's going to be the hook.
Right.
Someplace there's got to be a give. And so if you end up putting enough heat to that fish, it is going to break the hook. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's going to break. It just physics say it has to break.
It's an angles and a materials thing.
Yeah. So we used to only fish bonefish at 8-pound and 10-pound test and 12 max in Lake Hawaii, right? And now these leaders and tippet are getting so strong, the rods are getting fast enough that it is very different. And so it makes it so that hook is much more vulnerable. So your option is either you're going to an 800S, which is a thicker diameter and a heavier wire, shorter shank, so it doesn't look as much like a shrimp, which annoys me. And you're having to add a heavier dumbbell on it to flip it, which spooks fish, right? Totally. Or you just got to adjust how you're fighting the fish and know that if you're just going to put the heat to it to set that hook, it's going to break it off. It's going to break, or you're not going to break.
Well, it's funny you say that. There's and I won't name names, but a friend of ours went to the Bahamas last year, and I did give him some RIO flies. The ones that I worked for Mitch and I when we were in
Bahamas.
When we were on Long Island there. And he sends me back a picture of a bent out hook being like, these hooks bent out. And I was like, on this really big bonefish. And I didn't really have a retort, but now I do. It's like, buddy was reefing way too hard on that fish.
Yeah. And
that's interesting. That's amazing that you had the summer intern pull all the hooks.
I love that.
The funnier thing is you guys know Tag Kleiner. He was our VP of marketing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was his son that was his summer.
Amazing.
So that was even better.
That's so good.
He's a great kid.
Mitch, that's such a great point. It's great that work's being done because obviously it has to be, right?
Well, and it's really frustrating when we get people that come back to us and they're like, your hooks break. Break. And I'm like, just so you know, every single company out there is using 811Ss as their hook for bonefish.
Yeah.
It is going to break if you are using 20-pound test and you're using a 990 salt HD, or something fast. Yeah. It's just, there's not any way around that.
Yeah.
So you just got to try and go with the lowest number you can get away with and fight them effectively, but also know if you could get away with bumping to a size 4, do it, because it's going to exponentially be stronger that way.
It's kind of a frustrating, I would imagine sometimes business to be in because fishing is, people are so can be so know-it-alls and passionate about their beef.
Yeah.
you know, but it's like, to your point, it's like, we're using the same hooks, you know, like just shit happens sometimes, brother. Like,
no one wants to hear that they're the reason they lost the fish of their lifetime, right?
Yeah. Well, and if they made, my favorite hook on the planet is the Gamakatsu SL12S. And I love the short shank version of that. If that is the only hook that they don't make below a size 2. So if they made that in a 4 and a 6, God, that'd be an awesome fly.
Yeah.
But they
you said the SL12S is the one you said?
SL12S, yep, you got it.
Oh yeah, that's a cool.
I tie on that all the time.
Yeah, big so all the size 2 flies that we do for saltwater are on that, or the 1X short version, which is even more solid. But they don't, unfortunately, they don't make it smaller than that. So a lot of times you have to move down to the 800S or 811S of Tiemco instead.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool. My God, I could talk about this.
Hook theory. I know,
why don't? Sorry, this might be a stupid question because maybe some of these companies are bigger than, let's say, RIO or Umpqua. Why wouldn't a company like RIO buy a hook company just to be like, well, we're buying more of these hooks than Mitch and Aldo? Like, why wouldn't they just make them themselves? You know?
Yeah. What's funny is that I think it would shock folks to know that how many hooks are made in the exact same factory. They're just tempered in different places. Or, right? So that's one thing. It would be a really good strategic move to buy a hook company and then cut everybody else off.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm evil, but yeah, in the end.
I love it.
No, my head was going there too. I'm like, well, why don't just like you buy Mustad?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So it just, I think, I don't know for a fact, but I have my theories on there's other hook companies that share the Mustad factory, things like that. And you can kind of visibly see them and tell. And so you'd have to buy them all out.
Right.
Or really buy into the big one to achieve that. And I don't know anyone that's going to do that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big business, I think, too. Like,
understood.
Even outside of fly fishing, right? You know.
Yeah.
Okay, is there like a fly that you're most proud of, one that you've designed over the years that you're like, that's the one that I love the most?
Oh God. The Surf Sticks a Lot is probably one of my best selling flies. That fly fucking fishes better than anything. Excuse my language, sorry, mother. It is the best fly fishing wise out there.
Yeah.
That one's really good. And the other one that actually is the ugliest fly you'll ever see dry, but the fishiest fly you'll ever see wet for trout is the Short Shank Redemption.
Shank Redemption.
I love that name so much. Oh my God.
I've been going so hard on the old school wrappers. I've got some other ones coming out for this next year.
That rock. That's like the best. That's got to be, like you say, that's such a fun part of the show.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's a cool looking fly though. Like that is super, super fishy looking. I mean, why wouldn't something hit that, you know?
Oh my God, that's
the Short Shank Redemption. The photo is horrific.
It's awesome.
But when it's wet, that's why we included the kind of ghetto version of the picture with it wet too, just to show people what they look like.
They're like, no, I swear it looks fishy.
So funny.
That must be so fun naming.
Oh, you have no idea. It's so much fun.
Naming flies. Yeah,
it's real fun.
These days when you sit down at the Vice, because you've done so much and you're so accomplished, like, are you chasing just, again, more curiosity or perfection? Like trying to just, like, what kind of tying to do for fun, I guess, if it's your job, like, or do you know?
It's funny. I get a lot more creative time done at work now, unfortunately, but it's because we have all of it. Like if you go over here, it looks like a fly shop. There's like pegs all over the walls and filled with stuff.
So cool.
But a lot of times there'll be something new that I order in from Hairline or similar and just be like, oh, I'm going to try this with that and sub it out for like this fly that I've already done and see what it looks like. It has to be something unique that we haven't done similar that maybe is improving something already in the market for me to do it. So I'm taking, say, there's not many really light size 8 bonefish flies out there, shrimp.
Right.
There's a couple of the same freaking version you see everywhere.
Mhm.
So I designed a couple flies that are only in size 8s. Don't fish it with 20-pound test leader, but
Yeah.
it's on an 811S, but it's an 8.
There you go.
Yeah, so things like that. Another fly that's one of the best sellers, I think, and bonefish freaking love it, is the banana stand. And I had originally
Awesome.
done that for cutthroat. It was on a curved Gammarus Arex hook, which clearly had a fatal flaw when the first few people decided to try it for bonefish and learned that it worked really well, and they opened up every single fish they hooked on it. So I had to go through and pull every single one of those out of inventory. We had to basically throw them all away. And then we had to repurpose it with a uber strong saltwater version of the same hook and put it back out on the market so that both bonefish now could eat it and cutthroat.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Good
So
times.
there's like what a dynamic fly.
What a cool fly. What a cool
so
hook
good
shape.
for bonefish.
Oh man.
Amy Hazel,
man.
that's one of her favorite bonefish flies.
Yeah.
She was one of the first people that was like, I tried this for bonefish. They friggin' love it, especially on Christmas Island. It opens up. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, well, that wasn't his intention, but now I know, and now we're figuring it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, it's so. There's one comment on the RIO site. It just says 5 stars. Great bonefish fly.
Yeah.
There's always money in the banana stand.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Hell yeah.
Well, and Jay Beebe found that it works for Corbina, I guess.
Oh wow.
Now that he's in Southern California, he said Corbina love it.
Wow, the cutthroat fly that could, seriously.
Something about it looks kind of carpy to me. Like
it totally it picks up really well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll try.
That's pretty cool. I got a couple of those this summer.
Oh yeah.
Try send you some.
If somebody wanted to stand out like as a tire today and like kind of make their mark in a sea of amazing tires and so many patterns, what would be your advice to them? Like, what would you tell them?
I would say don't try and stand out so much as you want to try and take patterns that have a true problem with them and improve that. Make it so that it fishes in this water that it seems like it should fish for or in now, but it's not functioning the way it should. Maybe it's too light of a bead. Maybe it's the rubber legs are too long and they need to be smaller diameter. You never know. But I would say the fishier flies are going to be what really attracts us more.
Yeah.
Because we know people really get it. They're not just copying something that's already done and making it look really realistic.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of times the more realistic ones are the ones that actually don't fish for shit.
Totally.
Or move, right?
Totally.
So I would say just keep at it and don't try and do good or be good at every style of tying. I don't even try with dry flies because I know it's going to look like I just started tying. I haven't tied a dry in years.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at
because you want to tie flies, it doesn't mean that you have to be good at all different styles, right?
Yeah.
Perfect streamers and just get really good at that.
Yeah. That's a really good piece of advice, like just there's so many different things you can do. Just pick one thing and focus. And also love that idea of just like try to improve stuff that exists. Cause so many people are like, I want to invent something, but it's like, there's so many patterns that aren't quite there yet. Right. Like just make them better. That's cool.
Yeah. Or you see like these flies that it's like a reverse crane fly screwing another crane fly. And you're like,
what is the
story
here?
This looks really real, but it's
it's like this looks way too anatomically correct.
Totally. And it's just you got to think about how it's going to fish, and move, and like there's I don't know.
RIO's getting it on.
I love it.
Hey, can I? We've got 5 more questions just to wrap up the show. We asked everybody, but can I quickly ask you selfishly some things that have caught me some amazing fish, and if I can thank you,
of course,
I would want to thank you now. Did you design the RIO's Arctic bone?
I did.
Oh my God. That has got some serious bonefish for myself and our buddy Dan.
Nice.
Our buddy Dan, we were in Long Island, and he caught his PB on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like just this like absolute unit of and it was like a really tough day. This isn't the point of this show, but just as an aside, it was it was like one of the most awesome moments. Like we were just grinding all day on like glass. Everything was so spooky, you know. And he casted this like single cruiser and it refused to fly, and then you know, we switched to that fly and it got the job done. He
That's
landed
awesome.
It was like a 6 or 7 or 8 pound bonefish.
Holy shit.
Oh, it was huge. It was like a tank. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Bonefish bitters. You?
Bonefish bitters has been around for a while, so that was not me. That's I don't even know.
Great. That's such a great fly.
It's a great fly.
The bunky shrimp.
No, that is not me. I don't. That's been an existing one as well.
Okay, gotcha. Well, those three are
they're great flies.
They're great flies. But now I want to try this banana stand. Big time.
The banana stand and tan is definitely one that needs to go
banana
in the
stand
fly
and
box.
Tan?
Yes, okay, every bonefish fly box out there needs to
tan banana stand.
Tan banana stand. Tan banana stand. Okay. If there was another bonefish fly that you've designed, what
that I've designed?
What am I getting here? Did you do the Moorish? Am I to understand that when it says Rio's
So if it says Moorish, if it says Rio's in front of it, then it was either Patrick or I that designed it. If it says Moorish, then it was Ken Moorish that worked on it. He did the stocking stuffer. That's brand new. That's a really good fly. Yeah, so that one's a really good one. Aside from that, I'm trying to think of the other ones I've done.
Shrimp teas?
I did that one. Yeah, shrimp teas, the lip lettuce.
Lip
lettuce.
That's so good.
So one of the best flies that I did that is comical because one of our reps, it's the best Texas redfish fly he's ever fished. And he openly admits that he doesn't tell anybody this, even though he sells flies for a living.
Yeah.
And it's the suppository. And it has a plastic junction tubing in its butt that you can lube up a rattle and shove it in there if you want.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And if you want to go with a bigger rattle, you could shove that in there too. With a
oh my God, what an awesome fly.
Or you could take it out and not have to deal with any rattle, which is also great. But that peach one in Texas, any Texas folks listening, that is, sorry, Darren, that is the one to have. Yes, suppository.
Honestly, it's such a sick smallmouth fly too. I love that you can shove different beads into its butt. It's amazing.
Yeah. And if you don't want the junction tubing, just cut it off. It's a great fly on its own too. That's the thing. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Oh my God, Brita, it's so awesome that you tied the Arctic bone. It's like my favorite. It's my go-to. Every time we start a trip, that's the first one I put on. I mean,
it's true.
You know, for sure. Obviously, if it's super deep or high tide, then maybe not. But yeah, if I'm walking a flat, that's on my rod for sure. Oh, that's so cool.
The flexo crabs that we do are also, I worked really hard on those, even though they're flexos. So flexos already exist, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the legs are the right length and they look really good as opposed to some of the ones you're going to buy. So that's another one that's pretty good of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Okay, let's switch over though. Why don't we to the 5 last questions? Mitchie's Fishies 5. These are 5 questions we ask every guest at the end of every show. Yeah, and they're Mitchie's Fishies 5 because my name's Mitchie. I'm not as good as naming things as you are. Like,
listen, we thought of these almost 10 years ago, and we're just riding.
Oh yeah, we're just riding it out. Okay, first question is: what is your favorite fish and why? If you had to pick a favorite fish,
triggerfish,
what would it be? Whoa, that was fast. Mm-hmm. Why?
I love the color of them. I love that.
Yeah, they're amazing.
You can see them from afar and guess and assume which type it is, and then realize that you were totally messed up and it wasn't. I love that they are they're like the cats of the flats. They're total jerks. And you sometimes get them and you don't know why, and sometimes you don't get them and you don't know why. So it's totally worth it.
The flats.
They're so cool. Like I've only seen them once when we were in Belize, like, and seeing them like in the waves, you know, just like swimming sideways.
So haunting, yeah.
Very crazy. And then like
it's amazing.
I remember wading out and one swam right by me. It was like a huge football, and I was like whipping flies at it. Didn't care at all. I didn't know what I was doing, but It was so cool to
when
see
you
them.
can get one like this big and play it off the rod on an 8-weight and get your ass kicked, and you're like,
Totally.
what happened here?
That's
And
wild,
they're
man.
just insane.
They're so
They're
cool
insane.
looking.
Yes,
And
triggers.
and they're
for
so
sure.
you know, like Cats of the Flats is great too, because you know, this past trip at the beginning of this month, you know, I would, you know, there was like a few that I spooked, and then they would swim by me, you know, when they do this.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, 'cause they're like
looking at
they're
you.
swimming on the side looking at you.
Every
And then it would
time.
just fall. It just like, it was like I had a cat following me on the flat. They would just like walk behind me. Maybe I was kicking up shrimp or something, or I don't know, like while I was walking, but they're just like right behind me. Like
every once in a while you turn around, you're like, what the as
Yeah,
it
you're like,
spooks, you know.
what are you doing?
That's totally
They're
what
fun.
happened. That's what happened to me too.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, they have a cool
Yep.
aura. I
Yep.
gotta catch one. Okay, number 2 is if you could fish anywhere in the world right now, assuming it's gonna be like the best trip ever, where would you go and why?
Fraser Island, Australia.
Ah,
Okay.
Wanted
Now
to
what do
go
you-
to the east coast of Australia forever.
Yeah.
I want to be able to fish some of the rocky beaches there, and you
man.
have no clue what you're going to get. You're blind casting the whole time, fishing big bait fish, and just see.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm looking at
That would
pictures
be
of it
my
right now
dream situation.
because that's the first time we've heard that one on here. To be honest with you, no one said Fraser Island, Australia. It looks crazy.
Yeah. Don't watch too many videos. You're going to end up as bad as me.
Oh man, okay, that's a good one. Okay, number 3 is what is one of your best or favorite fishing memories from over the years? If you had to pick one memory that stands out.
The golden trevally that I got on Christmas Island. We had gone specifically for a shoot. So it was a bunch of the Sage employees and myself, and then JBB, Clay, and a few others for Reddington as well. And at the time, it was the first time I'd gone. I'd done enough saltwater fishing that I took Alex Bluen was my fishing buddy for the day, and he had taken the guide. And so I was on the other side of the flat and was just like, you're fine. I'll just screw around. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And I saw a fish coming at me. I had no idea what the hell it was. And it just kept coming faster with a bone. I thought it was a bonefish. And so I just started retrieving faster, and sure as shit on an 8-weight, it rocked me. And it was like almost a 20-pound golden trevally on a shrimp fly that I did not know what hit me. They ended up having to run all the way over. There's like 5 people from different places on the flats that were running over. That thing almost took me way out in the middle of the ocean. It was pretty rad.
That is super rad. Oh my god, those fish are beautiful. I mean, they're so powerful too. Eh?
It's just fun to have no idea what the hell you're getting. Sometimes, you know, like that's the beauty of line casting. But in this case, like I saw it and I still had no idea what it was.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Okay, number 4 is simply, why do you fly fish? All right, what keeps you going back out to fly fish?
It's like the difference between fishing an automatic or driving an automatic versus a manual. It's gives me things to play with and touch and constantly move and test.
That's such a good answer.
And I'm the first person to admit, if I'm out there fishing on a boat with like 3 or 4 people, I'm the one who's going to be like, here, try this fly next. Try this fly. Try doing this with this fly.
Yeah.
I get purely as much excitement watching people catch fish on my flies as I do actually fishing it myself.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that I don't need to be at the bow of the boat every time. I'm so happy just getting you guys into fish and watching it with stuff that I've created and know that it works for these fish. So
that must be so. It's got to be so rewarding, you know.
Exactly.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, like it's like fishing. It's kind of like just fishing by proxy, you know. Like you make these flies, and then if they catch fish, you're like, fuck yeah, you know. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great
and
feeling,
watching fish hit them is so fun too. If you get
totally.
that chance too. So
yeah, like how awesome is that feeling when you're like, you know, even if you give your friend a fly, and
when Justin and I off the boat, like our favorite thing that we've always like wanted, like it's always that you want the reel up salmon. That's what you want. It's always like the joke, like when you're in the boat, you're like, I just want that freaking coho to just slam it while you're reeling up and done, right? And I think I've gotten maybe between the two of us, we've gotten maybe that twice total.
Yeah.
And it's like the unicorn of the saltwater out here, and it's so dumb. It's no different than retrieving it normally, right? Like,
Totally.
but that's the unicorn. So you get weird things in your head sometimes, and it just makes it more fun.
Yeah. Okay, the last one. I feel like I'm the most excited to ask you this one out of all the guests we've ever had. Because it's if you were a fly, what would you be? What fly pattern best represents you and why?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like if you morphed into a fly, Brita would be...
You've got like a crazy encyclopedia of flies in your noggin. You're a great tire. I'm so curious what it's going to be.
I would probably be something along the lines of a surface fly for bass.
Oh,
like the most messed up, thrown together, but it still works situation with all legs and arms going all directions.
Yeah, I love that. So like some crazy kind of popper
type thing, yeah.
Yeah. So in Alaska one year I won $1,000 coming up with a fly that wasn't made out of anything from fly tying. And it was taking a purple tampon applicator and tying it onto a tube and then a hook behind it.
Nice.
I had to clarify it wasn't used.
Yeah.
But I definitely hook fish on the surface with it. And so whenever I think of like weird shit that's like going all around, like,
yeah,
that would be another one. I could be a purple tampon applicator.
Now I'm looking at Rio's PTO popper all differently. Like,
that's awesome.
Is that where that one came from? Also a great fly. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. It's just Fishies 5, and that's the show. I mean, it's been awesome getting to chat. I mean, there's just like Aldo said, so many different things we can chat about. So maybe one day we've got to do it again. But thank you for coming on, this one at least, and chatting. It's been really
so
cool.
nice to chat, and thanks for enduring my bonefish questions.
I could go all day.
Moderately obsessed these days. But it was so great to get you on the show. After, we met like 2 years ago, so it's a good thing that we finally made it happen.
Yep. Yeah, awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I really had a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, and like, where can people find your flies and kind of keep up with what you're up to?
Anyone can harass me at any point via social media. So cfly907 on Instagram, and then otherwise, you can always email RIO customer service, and if you have weird questions, things like that, and they'll forward it on to me. And yeah.
Awesome. Wicked. All right, cool. We'll put some links to the show notes and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks again so much for coming on, and have a good one.
Of course.
And thank you so much, Brita, for coming on the show. When did we record that? Like, that was like in the winter.
It was like months ago, man.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So we'd sit on that one for a while, and now we're actually extinguished all of our back catalog recordings, and we have to hit the mics again. So yeah, that's the next episode.
I'm glad we did that.
Are going to be fresh. Yes, that was very helpful.
I think it made for some really good episodes. So it's good that we got ahead of ourselves for the first time ever.
It only took 10 years. But it was a great chat, Brita. Thanks for coming on. It was really cool to hear more about your fishing life and also just get into your fly tying and that journey a little bit more. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm sipping on this Muskoka Detour.
Oh, yes,
and
you are.
I'm just thinking, it's Saturday today.
Yeah.
I don't actually think I have to work tomorrow, which is a crazy thing to say out loud.
Yeah.
And
you gonna go fishing?
I might even try to catch the evening hatch tomorrow.
Yeah, a little trout action.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds like a great idea. Absolutely fantastic idea. It's been such a busy spring, man. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't really been able to do too much, have we? I'd like to get out as well. I'm probably gonna go out tomorrow and just go fish for whatever I can find at the locks. Do a little pan fishing, maybe.
Oh yeah?
I want to try to catch a crappie. A crappie. So I might try to actually do that tomorrow. I gotta take Steph somewhere, but maybe I'll do that. That's the beautiful thing about panfish. You can just go catch them wherever you can fit it in,
Nice.
Yeah. I gotta go to Montreal all next week.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
then
fun.
it's like I said, Muskie's coming up, so I've been getting all my gear
that's
organized.
exciting.
All my stuff was just everywhere, dude.
I know you were sending me a picture like, what line is this? What line is that? What line?
Like,
I'm
it was
I
just,
don't know.
it's still, there's pieces just I find in corners of rooms and like in the garage and stuff. I'm like, whoa. There's a trunk in my reel, or a reel in my trunk. I'm like, what the heck is this?
A trunk in my reel.
There's a trunk in my reel.
There's a trunk in my reel. There's a reel.
So I'm
in my
getting
trunk.
everything organized and dialed in because I want to go hit some muskie soon.
You know, I got to go fishing, although I should say I did get to go join, kind of like an annual micro tradition. Nick,
Nick Roman
Nick Roman and Matt Martin and I go out for a day on
Georgian Bay.
Matt's boat, which is super fun on Georgian Bay. We definitely got into some pike, but man, we got into the bowfin big time later, which was super fun.
Yeah, that video is so cool of the bowfin.
I think I know, it's so funny.
So
man,
cool
it blew up
right now.
Like it's like the most viewed video SoFlies ever produced.
It was perfectly timed.
Oh my god!
I like Mac's comment. Be so cool if he ate right now. Bowfin. Okay.
No problem.
And it just smashed.
But it was cool. They were everywhere. I learned a lot about bowfin that day. So here's some bowfin facts.
Yeah.
One, they're like tarpon. They can air breathe. So when you get them out of the water, you don't have to stress about it's just
too much.
A lot of times taking pictures for them.
Right.
Two, half the time they're not even hooked. They're just so aggressive that they don't
let go.
And we didn't have to. I think there was one hook we actually removed. The rest of the time, they just like got in the net and they were like,
they just clamp down on it. They just don't want to.
And then they started biting the net. So because
they're in the spawn right now, right? So they're extra aggressive.
They were pre-spawn. So all the fish that we were seeing with the green fins, those are males. The females don't have the green fins, or at least not as prominently. And those get really green, obviously in the spawn, because they want to, flex. And they dig these big depressions in the muck because they live in like a sandy, or they spawn in the sandy bottom. They can actually submerge themselves in the muck, so you can like barely see them, which is just really
to hide
cool.
from predators and stuff, I guess,
or become the predator.
Right.
And then Matt was saying they actually sometimes travel underneath the mud, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
If the substrate is loose enough, they'll swim underneath it.
Slink around hidden.
Yeah, and so that was cool. They're kind of like, as you saw in that video, their eyesight isn't the best.
Yeah, they're like blind as a bat.
You really there were some that we were able to cast to, and actually like hook on on a reel cast, but most of the time we were getting as close as we could to literally dangle the thing in front of their face.
Because I think they rely a lot on movement and sound, no? Or I guess just movement, like vibration.
Like you saw the one in that video, it was like locked onto that thing. But if you stop moving it, it would be like.
Well, I know people will like slap the water with their paddle and stuff, and it'll actually bring them in because they're like, "What's that?"
Oh, like
they're
tarpon?
curious. Yeah, like they'll slap the
like
water
the tarpon
side
and
of
the
their
mangroves.
boat.
That's funny.
Yeah, Max from Flylords was telling me about that years ago when we were out on Champlain. He's like, "Dude, you just hit the boat and they like swim over, and then you just drop a fly in front of them, and they're like." Oh, and they smash it because they're like blind, so they're just relying on vibrations, but they're curious little creatures.
So we're losing those jig flies for them. It was great. We saw a ton of gar, but those were spawning, so we left. They're just cruising the shallow banks. So we didn't. We left those guys alone, and then we saw a bunch of pike laid up, but they were not interested in our flies. We caught all of our pike in the morning. It was all foggy, like blind casting.
Uninterested pike.
Was
it cold? Was the water cold?
Nope, it was like perfect.
I wonder why the pike were just like, nah, so unpike-like.
Like the fog burned off. We fished for bowfin for a bit, and then we ended the day on like in a bay that had like pike laid up in the sun. They were just like, meh.
It's funny.
They would look at the fly and then be like, whatever.
You're full. Maybe they were full of menace.
Maybe they were full of menace. We did catch a lot of pike in the morning. Nothing crazy, but a lot of really good, healthy fish, and it was a great day. But the bowfin, I think all in all we boated 7, so they definitely stole the show.
That's
sure.
Good. That's a lot. Of
we got like kind of bowfin obsessed there. We saw Nick caught a huge female.
Wow,
it was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
They were all bowfin stole the show,
so
which was really cool.
So like they start spawning like when? June?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be soon. So the males are all digging their nests and like holding their territory down and like waiting for the females to show up, basically, because we only saw the one female.
Interesting.
It was the rest of them were just like the dudes hanging out,
waiting
just
to
waiting.
get groovy.
They were just like, "Hello."
That's funny.
Excuse me.
That's a fun day. That sounds like that looked really cool. Nice to get out there on the open water in a boat.
There were so many gar, dude. Like, and some of them were huge. I was like, oh man. Wow. I was like, are these here like all the time? And Matt's like, yeah. And I was like, are they easy to catch? He's like, when they're off the spawn, he's like, they're pretty aggressive. Yes. And I was like, he's like, it's just, as we know, that snout is like bone. So it's not the eat that's the hardest part. It's the keeping them on.
Or using one of those rope flies and then trying to get it out.
Down. I like those little trebles that Matt uses. They're almost like a.
The ropes just sound like it would be hard to remove.
It's just like, I don't know. It's like I don't know, tying a fly with like steel wool as your hook is like kind of wild.
Or just like nylon, like thick nylon rope, but then it's like getting it out of the teeth. Wouldn't that be like really hard to do?
I don't know. Use one of those.
Probably a reason why they're not more popular,
Yeah, you tie the, those, people, whether it's with a tube fly or like a trailer treble, like, the treble like kind of acts as like a, like I said, like a grappling hook.
A little anchor,
or you have like an anchor. And so, because it's
a
really
small
hard to,
treble would be good, right? Like that's what
you can't pierce the.
It's just like bone.
Yeah, it's basically bone. But they're really cool. They're so cool. They're leopard spot, and they're just like so prehistoric.
Yeah, they're really cool looking fish.
It's cool that bowfin are like the a native species too, and they're like outlived the dinosaur.
Yep, I know.
Pretty crazy, Yeah,
I'm glad you guys were able to get so many and had a fun day out there. It looked awesome.
Thanks, man.
Splendiferous. Well,
that's what I always say. I say splendiferous.
Splendiferous. Well, thank you, Brita, for coming on, and thanks everybody for listening to another episode. That's it for another one for the books, and thank you, Time Magazine, for the gracious award.
Greatest fly fishing podcast ever made. Yeah, thank you for that.
That's it for me, Mitch. Aldo.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care. We love you.
We love you.